Factor 7x cubed y square minus 28x square y plus 42x square using GCF method. Let's write the format for GCF first. So the format for GCF is coefficient part times variables, we can say a part, and times factors. So three parts. Sometimes you will have one variable, sometimes you can have multivariables as a GCF. Sometimes you can have one factor or multi-factors as a GCF. Sometimes you can only have coefficient as a GCF, or sometimes all of them together. So in our particular case, look at the coefficient part. That means number part for each term. So first term we have 7, second term we have negative 28, third term we have 42. So which number which is common and largest in all three terms? And that number is nothing but 7. Because 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times negative 4 is negative 28, and 7 times 6 is 42. So our GCF for the coefficient part is 7. So we will write that here as 7. Now move forward and we're going to go towards variables part or variable part. So in our case we have two variables, but are they common first? That's what we have to notice. So let's look at the first variable x. X is here, x is here, x is here. That means the variable x is common, so it will go here. But can I take variable y as my GCF? Y is here, but y is not here. So y cannot be taken as a variable part for your GCF. So x is the only variable which is going to go into your GCF. Now the question is, what is the exponent for x? So the variable part of the GCF always contains the smallest power of a variable that appears in all terms of the polynomial. What I meant behind that is you look at all the terms. So let's write it: x to the cube, x to the square, and x square. In these three terms with variable x is common, but what exponent is common in all three? And that exponent is nothing but x to the square. Why? Because as you notice, x to the square, x to the square, x to the square is there in all three terms. When we multiply x to the square times x, that gives us x cubed. X squared times 1 gives us x squared, and x squared times 1 gives us x squared again. So my GCF for the variable part is x squared. So we're going to write here x squared. Do I have any factors or factor part in my question? What I meant for that particular question is this. Do I have in my question something like this? Something like this. Then this part in your question, that's called a factor part. In our case, we don't have it, so we don't have to worry about it. So let's not even worry about the factor part. So our GCF has only two things: coefficient and variable x. So my GCF is 7x squared. So we found our GCF. Now we will use that to factor the above polynomial. So we're going to factor out 7x squared from each term, and we're going to write the remaining terms inside the parentheses. So 7x squared we're going to factor out, and we're going to write the remaining terms. So let's go for the first term. 7 times what is 7? 1. X squared times what is x cubed? X. And then y squared. That is our first term. Let's go for second term. 7 times what is negative 28? Negative 4. X squared times what is x squared? Just 1. And times y. Last term. 7 times what is positive 42? 6. X squared times what is x squared? 1. Let's simplify this little more. 1 times x times y squared, xy squared. Minus 4 times 1 times y, negative 4y, and positive 6. This is our answer to that particular question. How do I verify it? I just distribute 7x squared to each term inside my parentheses. So the first term, that will definitely give me 7x cubed y squared. My second term, when I distribute 7x squared to, I will get negative 28x squared y. And my third term, when I distribute 7x squared to, that will give me 42x squared. So this is our final answer. Hope this will help you.